All right, Broncos country, we are live, but you guys know the drill by now. We just got to let the stream breathe for just a second here. Make sure that everything is nice and stable all across the YouTube platform. So, how we feeling now, Broncos country? Back up to 2-2 as the Denver Broncos defeat the New York Jets on the road 10-9 in an ugly, physical, nasty defensive slugfest. This was the most fun I have had watching a Denver Broncos game in a long time. The drama in that first half, from just not being able to do anything offensively to the second half where they finally start to establish a rhythm with a run game. The defense for all four quarters keeps the team in the game, keeps them with their hair on fire, playing physical, playing aggressive, never giving up. They have not played like that in such a long time, man. It feels so damn good. We got Takamine in the house saying, let's go, bro. Looking forward to the Raiders game soon. That is going to be a really fun game next week. Returning home after 2 weeks on the road, feeling about as good as you could feel. That was just as intense game as the Bills game last year, probably more intense. I feel the same way that I did after that Bills game, just drained, physically drained. That was a dramatic game. Oh, Chargers-Chiefs gotten started. Travis Kelce with a big connection. What else is new? You got Max in the house. Crazy ending LFG, but what's in the refs almost cost us the win. Definitely some bad officiating there from – it was pretty clear Garrett Wilson was down on the sideline there. They ruled that as an incomplete or as a completed pass, cost Denver a challenge. Then, obviously, Aaron Rodgers fumble. By that point, Denver was out of timeouts or was out of challenges because of that bad challenge, combined with the first bad challenge there in the first half. There was some frustrating stuff to take away from this game, but I would rather have a game that was frustrating the whole way through to watch and we end up with a win than have a game that was fun to watch, but they still find a way to lose it at the end. This was about as good of a game as you could ask for the Denver Broncos, considering the conditions they had to play with. The weather did not help them at all. Sean Payton, I felt like, wasn't calling his best game there in the first half. He really settled down in the second half, made adjustments, committed more to the ground game. That was really good to see. As I said, the defensive line determined who won, and we did. Damn straight. The Denver Broncos won the war of attrition again. If this team can consistently win in the trenches, they're going to win football games, Broncos country. The Denver Broncos are 2-2. I remember just a couple weeks ago, there were people in Broncos country that were talking about 0-16 or 0-17, 1-16, something like that. Now we're getting to a point where the Denver Broncos are back at 500. They're playing really good defensive football. They're figuring some stuff out on offense. That was the best adjustments that I've seen the Denver Broncos make in such a long time. And the defensive line, man, I cannot talk about how fantastic that unit was. Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers, DJ Jones, Malcolm Roach, all of those guys were in the backfield. Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper. They got pressure on Rodgers, made him comfortable all game long. They followed a very similar game plan to that 2015 game on Sunday night in Denver versus the Packers, where Aaron Rodgers had the worst performance of his entire career. This one was not quite that bad, but they really made Rodgers uncomfortable out there. They hit him, they got him on the ground several times, and he ended up being shaken up there at the end of the game. Broncos, man, 2-2, really good feeling, man. It is a really good feeling. Broncos country, we won. Am I extremely intoxicated? Yes. Love it, D-Rock. Absolutely love it. Vance Joseph definitely gets a game ball today. I'd say VJ gets a game ball today. Javonte Williams gets a game ball today. John Franklin Myers should get one for defeating his old team. And I think since Russell Wilson got a petty game ball when the Steelers defeat the Broncos, Zach Wilson should get a petty game ball for this one too. JFM might have been the missing piece on this line. Him and Malcolm Roach, those guys have both been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. 2-2 is better than we could have asked for with a rookie, especially a rookie that's still figuring stuff out. Bo Nix definitely had his struggles in this game, but let's just focus on the positives for right now, Broncos country. This team put together one of the best wins that we've seen them put together in a long time. The D's back in Denver. No diddy. Sean Payton vindicated me for sure. Knowing weather would lead to a tough game. So crazy the Jets missed that kick. It was, man. I mean, both teams missed that kick. Same direction. The field conditions definitely weren't great, but Denver got bailed the hell out there with that Greg Zuerlein miss. They also got bailed out with the way that the Jets managed that situationally. Even if Zuerlein hadn't missed, they were still going to get the ball back with decent field position, 51 seconds and a timeout. They would have had plenty of time to go downfield and kick a field goal of their own, and Will Lutz would have had a chance to redeem himself. So I feel like the Broncos managed the clock well. They played better situational football than the New York Jets did. And that's what happens, man. In ugly games like this, you've got to outcoach your opponent. And today, the Denver Broncos outcoached their opponent. And just like last week, no sacks allowed. Didn't hear Alex Palczewski's name. We heard it once. He did get a holding call, but outside of that, Palczewski was lights out. Garrett Bowles had a decent day today. Didn't hear much out of him. That was all you could ask for from the offensive line too. And Bo Nix, good job avoiding sacks, getting out of pressure, making some plays with his legs. I can't wait to watch the New York Jokes reaction later. There's one reporter in particular. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's a real Nathaniel Hackett merchant. And there's this one reporter in particular that I'm really looking forward to see his reaction. Defense is epic. Absolutely. All right, guys, before we jump into the press conference here, we'll go ahead and do its own stream for that as we normally do. Got to maximize that revenue, as you guys know. Let's go ahead and jump into the stats for this game. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick here. All right, so box score. Bo Nix definitely settled in a little bit as things went on. Not a good stat line. There's no way to get around it. 12 for 25, 60 yards, 2.4 yards per attempt, one passing touchdown. Did finally get his first passing touchdown of his NFL career to Cortland Sutton. No turnovers, super important in a slugfest like today. Pretty much all that yardage came in the second half. By the first half, at the end of the half, he had negative yardage passing. Javonte Williams, got to give him credit where it's due. He played awesome. 16 carries, 77 yards, 4.8 yards per carry. Jaleel McLaughlin, 9 carries, 46 yards, 5.1 yards per carry. This was easily the best rushing performance by the Denver Broncos in this game. Hopefully Tyler Bidet is okay. Had that scary injury on the sideline, had to get stretchered off. Hopefully he ends up being okay. Receiving game, your entire offense through the air was basically Cortland Sutton. 3 catches for 60 yards. Michael Burton, 1 catch for 3 yards. Javonte Williams, 2 catches for 3 yards. A few guys, Troy Franklin, Tyler Bidet, with negative yardage through the air. That's not good. They need somebody to step up in that receiving room. Josh Reynolds, a big old goose egg. Little Jordan Humphrey, a big old goose egg. Dulcich and Troutman, both goose eggs. Those guys really need to step up because this receiving core is among the worst in the NFL right now. PJ Locke had a massive game, 10 tackles, a sack, a TFL, a QB hit. Brandon Jones forced another turnover. Riley Moss got a couple penalties, but overall he was great today. Jaquan McMillan was awesome. Cody Barton stepped in and played really well in place of Alex Singleton. We saw Justin Sternad. He got in there and played well. Pat Surtain once again took away Garrett Wilson. 5 catches for 41 yards, but I only think a couple of those were on Surtain. I thought Surtain played really awesome today. Yeah, man, this was a complete team victory by the Denver Broncos. They out-physicaled and outplayed the Jets on both sides of the ball. It was a really, really good thing to see, man. Aaron Rodgers, 24 for 42, 225 yards, 5.4 yards per attempt, no touchdowns, no picks. Braylon Allen, 8 carries, 34 yards. Aaron Rodgers, 5 carries, 26 yards. Breece Hall, just 4 yards on 10 carries. That is not good at all. Mike Williams starting to heat up, 4 catches for 68 yards. Alan Lazard, 5 catches for 58 yards. Garrett Wilson, 5 catches for 41 yards. Tyler Conklin, 4 catches for 17 yards. Leading tackler on the day for the Jets was Tony Adams. I thought that Jamie Sherwood played a good game for them as well. So, yeah, man, diving into the stats right there, certainly not going to be world-beating stats through the air for Bo Nix, but quite frankly, they played well enough to get the win, and that's all you can ask out of this team. They found a way, man. They found a way at the end to capitalize on the New York Jets' mistakes. They found a way at the end to be able to just keep themselves alive, keep themselves afloat, and eventually it turned into an opportunity for them to win the game. All right, guys, it looks like Sean Payton is on the podium right now, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this stream a little bit short. We will be back live after that. I'll go ahead and go live and we'll discuss what this win means for the team moving forward. We will also, of course, be breaking down some of the other storylines from this game. So an ugly win is still a win, Broncos country. Let me go get the press conferences up. Be sure to leave a like on this stream as well as subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. Both free and easy ways to show your support. And until next time, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.